Hello, and welcome back to Are You Ready for Your Inspection? My name is Vanessa Dooley. I am your host of today's episode, and I have with me again Lorna from our Childbase partnership. Welcome back, Lorna. You can't keep away.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so today's episode, and actually, I'm glad we're doing this because it's just come to me. Okay, so is the importance of curriculum. Okay, so we want to talk, and I know our podcasts are short and sweet, but I think they work. I think they're if you know, when you listen to a podcast it goes on and on, it's too much. Short, sweet, golden nuggets, the importance of curriculum. Now, I'm going to give you an example here. So this is really, I've got a setting that I support, and one of the, they didn't get a very good inspection. And one of the things was about that there was no intention and there were no next steps for children. And actually looking at, since I've come into it, is that the staff at the moment in this setting don't really know child development as much as I knew child development. Not like when I did my NNEB many years ago. That was drummed into me and Mary Sheridan and what I knew about child development. And actually, so for me, it was like, okay, you can create your own curriculum. That's great. But actually, let's go back to basics. Let's go back to what you need to know. So I'm saying you've got a document called Development Matters. You've got Birth to 5. And actually, we've had a little bit, because where their setting is at the moment, the local authority have gone in because they need to be going in and said that they shouldn't be using Development Matters, which is confused the absolute hell out of them, because they're saying they should be creating their own. Well, actually, this is a setting that needs to go back to basics. Now, I know that Childbase have created their own curriculum because I see it on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So tell me why you decided as a Childbase partnership to create your own curriculum, and what's the purpose of it, and why you think that yours as an established setting, lots of settings where you are with the quality, why you did that.
We read the Development Matters and the Birth to 5 and felt it just didn't fit us. It didn't fit us as an organisation. I mean, we're very lucky to have a quality team who could look at it and think, actually, that doesn't quite meet what we need. So we wrote our own, and we used the development milestones. We planned where children should be age and stage. Yep. And we didn't like next steps. We wanted to use the focus children and what a child should be doing, and their focus. We wanted to have teachable moments and not activities, and we felt it was really important to actually, the child is the heart of it all, and building on that child's interest. So we thought, actually, how can we sat down as a team and sat down and said, right, how can we make this work? Because the child is the centre. Yeah. So it's about those child interests and building on that, and then what we want children to do next. And so we wrote it, we trialled it in a few nurseries, it worked, it's ambitious, it's sequenced, and we've had some really good feedback. It wasn't long after we wrote it, we had our first Ofsted inspection. And we were very nervous about it, actually, because we're like, actually, we have gone a little bit rogue with our curriculum. We haven't, not many people at that time had written their own curriculum. And we're a bit nervous. I certainly was nervous, and to make sure we got it right. And intent, implementation, impact is key. We've got to make sure that staff know what they're doing. And actually, when the EIF was updated, it was using the RABAC terminology. As soon as you had intent, people got scared by it, and we're like,
well, they do, and they still get it wrong. You know, they still focus on that implementation rather than the intent. It's almost like, why have we done that? What is going on? So right, it is that terminology,
and it was moving away from cohort tracking at that time as well. And actually, we developed like a quality development plan so that actually they could focus on the intent of the nursery, the intent of all rooms, and look at actually how that was being implemented. And as with anything, there's always training. There's always training, and then you review it. We do very much hands-on training. Very lucky to have a quality team who can go into nurseries and deliver that curriculum training. And Yeah, we got outstanding. So we were like, okay, the inspector liked that curriculum.
Yeah.
But it's down to how the team deliver it. So
Oh,
yes, we have the child-based approach. Okay, so we have our own bespoke curriculum, that we have our teach to reach principles. There's 7 principles that we follow, and then there's the development milestones for children. But it's how they deliver it and how they sell it. Because we, as an individual, I could try and sell it to the inspector, but they want to see it. They want to see it in those nurseries. They want to see it being delivered, of which the team have embraced it. I say team, wider team, all the team of 44 nurseries. They embrace it. But I think it's down to the regular questioning as well. Okay, what's your intent today? Okay, I'm going to now sit back and I'm going to watch it unfold. I want to see, is it being implemented? It's about using that terminology, because when you don't and you use different wording, when it comes to an inspection, it's going to throw the team.
oh, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
like supervision, for example, we don't use the word to say supervision. So when an inspector says, "Tell me about your supervisions," it throws our colleagues.
Yeah.
So it's about actually using that terminology. It being ambitious for children. It's being sequenced. It enables children to learn. But it's not too ambitious in the fact that there's too much available for children, because you see that, don't you? You see where there's too much available. So that enables, that has missed opportunities for children. That there's invisible children. So actually, it's getting it right. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
Easy to get it right. And sometimes you might go in and go, right, you've got 4 learning opportunities here, but you've got 3 staff. How are you going to manage that? And they go, oh, I thought we needed that. No, it's actually, it's how you sprinkle your whole environment with interests. Because if you've got for a child to learn 1 to 5, it's all those opportunities to learn 1 to 5. It's not just having it on a table in a tuff tray that has numbers 1 to 5. It's all those opportunities inside and outside to bring that alive. It's not actually the learning's done and then it's finished. It's about actually all those teachable moments. And that's what we focus on. We focus on those teachable moments for children. And then that home learning as well. So share what we're doing with regards to curriculum for our parents. So on our website, we have not the Childbase, but we have a specific one for parents, where we have information on there about our curriculum, what it looks like for our parents. Because that's really important, that they can actually see what we're doing and why. So yeah, curriculum's the heart of everything we do.
And it's really hard when you go into settings sometimes, and I almost feel it's been vomited Pinterest. You and I would have these discussions on a regular basis, and it's almost like, okay, I see that, but that's when children, when they can't focus because there is too much going on, you do end up having those invisible children, isn't it?
Or behaviours.
Oh, yeah.
So you either got invisible children or you have behaviours, because actually there's too much. It's too stimulating for children. So it's about getting it right. It's listening to that voice of the child. Yeah. It's really important for your curriculum that you're listening to the voice of the child, because curriculum is about the community you're serving as well. Yeah. It's big. It's big. But if you look at the quality of education with regards to your inspection, it's predominantly, most of your inspection is the quality of education, which is your curriculum. Behaviour and attitudes, that comes into curriculum as well. Personal development,
all of it does.
Management comes under curriculum. So you need to ensure that your curriculum is sequenced, builds on children's interests, is stimulating but not overstimulating. It's about how you get that right.
And that comes to practitioners though, isn't it? That's the thing. Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And actually enabling your environment.
Yes.
So having your environment enabled is really, really important. Not having an empty table or just putting some Lego bricks or a jigsaw puzzle there. I mean, I'm looking at a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, those sort of things we did. We very much plan in the moment. So we're continually building on children's interests. If I look at the inspection we had last week at one of our nurseries, It's near a local airport. So it just so happened that the airplanes were flying. There was lots of them flying over and over and over, and the children were really interested in them on that day. When normally, when it happens, they're not so interested, but on that day they were really interested. So it was about actually quickly building on that. So when we were making paper aeroplanes, we had pictures of airplanes. We got the big blocks out, and we were making big aeroplanes. But that was just completely building on that children's interest in that moment in time. Yeah. Joint observation. It was meant to be making Play-Doh. That was the joint observation, because that's a real interest of the children. Did it work on the day? No. The children just wanted to make gloop. They just wanted it. They couldn't add into it, but the practitioner went with it,
and that's it. Is it the key?
Yeah, she went with it. She built on it. She listened to the voice of the child. Didn't matter that it didn't resemble Play-Doh, because you could do that later. Actually, the learning opportunities and building on those children's interests was absolutely key, and she absolutely nailed it. It was beautiful. The inspector said how beautiful it was, because yes, they wanted Play-Doh, but it doesn't matter about the end result. It's the learning that takes place, and it's that sequencing of that curriculum in order to meet that child's needs. Like I said, the nursery got outstanding, and it wasn't just because of that, but actually that's so important that she could see how you're building on children's interests and listen to the voice of the child or children in order for a learning opportunity to happen.
Yeah, totally spot on. And that's where I see so often when we go out and do our audits, is the fact that practitioners sometimes have a perceived thing of where it's going, and it's not going where it is, and that's when they get slightly stressed, and the children's behavior becomes a little bit unmanageable, or they're bored and they end up wandering around. But actually, you as a practitioner, if you're listening to this, you need to be spontaneous and take it and look at it through the eyes of the child, and listening to those child's voice to actually extend it. Go where they want to go. It's not your activity, it's theirs.
If it doesn't work out, that's okay, because actually they've taken so much learning from the process rather than the end result. It's a bit like your Mother's Day cards and your Father's Day cards and your Easter cards. Actually, who you're doing that for? Yeah, it's about actually that process it's about not the end result.
Yeah, totally get that. Oh, I've loved this, because this is where you and I can have these conversations.
Yeah, we could. But we do, to be fair.
I know. All right, well, don't tell everyone that, but we do have these conversations too. All right, yeah. Thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast today. I so appreciate it. I know you're extremely busy, but it's been delightful as always to talk to you. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I just want to say good luck with the rest of your inspections. I know it's not about an Ofsted day, but as the purpose of the podcast, whatever you're doing, your formula, whatever you're doing now, don't change it. Just constantly grow with it. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thank you.